Referencing by the National Learning Network. You might be wondering, why do I need to reference? Referencing other people's work provides support for your argument. It also shows that you have worked hard to research your topic well, and therefore you will get more marks. It is important to give credit to others' hard work and avoid plagiarism. Researching and referencing different views and studies highlights that people have different views on the same topic and helps you build your personal argument. Referencing is giving credit to the authors of the text you've read and whose ideas or research you've used as evidence in your assignments. If you do not reference, it is considered plagiarism. So when do you need to reference? The simple answer is all the time. Whenever you are making a statement that you have read somewhere, heard in a lecture, or any form of knowledge that you need to support. Ask yourself, how do I know this to be true? And record the source beside your point. Don't worry, referencing is not as scary as it seems. Generally, there are a few main details you will need, and how these are displayed will depend on the referencing style you've been asked to use. For example, Harvard, APA, or MLA. These details include the author's name, the year it was published, the title or journal details, who published it, where it was published, and the pages you used. We will focus on two types of ways to reference materials: direct quotes and paraphrasing. You are using a direct quote when you write exactly what you have read. Let's look at an example from an article by McCarthy, Kelly and Johnson in 2012. An example quote from this text might look something like, McCarthy et al. States that pipe deterioration is considered to be a complex process which is influenced by a huge amount of factors. 2012, page 34. You need to use quotation marks at the beginning and end of each quote and place the page number at the end of the quote. As we've highlighted in the previous slide, smaller quotations are integrated into the text. However, there may be times when you want to record longer quotations. As a rule of thumb, if your quotation is longer than 4 typed lines, you will need to start the quotation on a new line and indent the lines 1 inch from the left margin. Each referencing style has its own way of presenting these longer quotations. For example, Harvard referencing recommends doing this if the quote is longer than 1 sentence. In Harvard, the quote should appear also in a smaller font than the rest of the essay. You will notice you still need to put the page number at the end of the quote. However, you do not need to put the quote into quotation marks. Paraphrasing is writing information in our own words, or summarizing what the author has said in a different way. If we take the example again by McCarthy et al. 2012, we can see the first quote is a direct quote, meaning it has been taken word for word. If we want to paraphrase this quote, we might say something like, McCarthy et al. 2012 state that pipe deterioration can be influenced by many factors and it is understood to be a complicated process. In addition to in-text references and footnotes, you will also need to create a bibliography. Your bibliography should provide the full information for your reader if they wanted to look up the authors you cited in text. Microsoft Word has a feature to add your bibliography using your footnotes and in-text references. This can be found under the References tab. Click Bibliography and you will get a list of formats you would like your bibliography to appear in. Make sure your selected style is correct before you add footnotes or bibliography. Here are some important tips to remember. Referencing is not as scary as it seems. If you're unsure or in doubt, always reference. Use websites such as Turnitin to check for plagiarism. Make sure to check which referencing style your lecturer wants before starting. Remember to reference as you go and keep a clear record of all your references so you can support your ideas and go back and check anything if needed. Software including Zotero and EndNote can help you manage your resources efficiently. You could also create your own template to store sources you've referenced. Here you can record all the essential details of your sources, including the titles, the author, and the year they were published. The website Cite This For Me has guides available for each referencing style and provides examples for all types of sources, including books, articles, journals, videos, etc. Another helpful tip in referencing is to find your reference on Google Scholar. Click on the Cite link and you will get all the information you need to reference your source. Why not try putting your knowledge to the test and try this short quiz by clicking on the link.